Welcome to day 4 of our 5-day Radical Authenticity Challenge as we're moving towards reconnecting with our true self. And today is a great day because we're really taking those steps, going from awareness, moving from really kind of holding up those mirrors and identifying what's either not worked for us or our limitations that we've embedded in life outside of ourselves. And we're flipping the script and we're looking at ourselves as we are now and really getting to a place of reconnecting with the true you as we're recreating life on our terms. So, how's everybody doing? And let us know. Happy, sad, frustrated, challenged, whatever it is, it's valid. Wherever you're at, it's a beautiful place to be. It's going to give you information, it's going to give you insight. And being in the presence of what we're feeling is one of the most powerful places we can ever be. So today we're going to be jumping in to our day 4 worksheet. The title is Recreating Life on Your Terms, Reconnecting with the True You. So if you've got this, go ahead and grab it. If not, go ahead and print it out. And if not, no worries. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. We're going to walk you through it today.
A few things to be aware of as we're stepping into the driver's seat of your own life, recreating life on your terms. One of those is to be extremely mindful of the language that you are using. The language that you use informs your system of reality. Like thoughts create language, language creates actions, actions create reality, start creating habits in your life.
We started a little bit with this on Tuesday when we're looking at language that limits us or keeps us separate. The shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, and the ought tos. And now Kelly's going to jump into some of those ones that are a little bit more personal, a little bit more really hitting close to home.
So, have you said things like this? I'm so bad at that. Or I'm always broke. Or I'm broken. Or I'm always sick. Or this is one we hear all the time: my anxiety, my depression, my fill in the blank, fibromyalgia. When we do things like add a my in front of it, it takes ownership of what it is you're experiencing, and your system goes, oh, it belongs to you now. That's part of your identity. I better keep running that program since it's part of your identity. So, as soon as you notice yourself with limiting language, defeatist language, stop yourself. So, first it takes just noticing, oh, I did that again.
Awareness, recognition.
As soon as you're aware, then we can disrupt that pattern and just rewrite it with something different. So, if you think that you're working on your memory isn't so good. If you say, oh my gosh, I forgot my keys again, instead you can come in and say, I remembered my keys. And then come and grab them, head out again. Instead of I'm always broke, it could be something like, wow, I'm excited that money is starting to come to me in new and interesting ways. I'm so excited that I'm learning about how to manage money and all about abundance in my life. So it's something I'm working on. You have something to add there?
If all we're doing is commentating on our perceived reality or on our perceived experience, we're literally keeping ourselves in a box like this.
Yeah.
We're just right here. This is my current experience. My memory's bad, I'm broke, I'm always sick. So part of the practice of recreating life on our terms is communicating with our system the things that we are desiring as if they've already happened, as if we're already experiencing them.
Yeah, so I am in healing mode. My body is returning to the blueprint of health. I am healed. Instead of something like my anxiety, how about something like this? It's easy for me to shift out of anxiety back into balance, and I'm doing that right now by taking slow, deep breaths, by rebounding on a trampoline to disperse excess energy, or by going on a walk. So these are the things I'm doing right now to change the state that I'm in. Another thing to be aware of is to take responsibility for everything that is happening in your life. When we're kids, we don't have control over that. We get what we get, right? But as you become an adult, and many of us have been an adult for decades now, It's time to take responsibility for your own experience. Take responsibility for how you are showing up in the world. We cannot control other people and we cannot control Mother Nature, our environment, but we can control who we are. This is how we're choosing to show up. This is what we're bringing to the table. This is how we respond. We choose our responses. And these are some things to consider. Like maybe these are some excuses you might have made or you hear other people making. If the economy was much better, then I'd be fill in the blank. If it wasn't for blank, I'd be able to get more work done during the day. Or if my parents didn't treat me so, insert the story, I'd be much better off today. Or if I didn't work X number of hours in a week, I'd be able to focus more time and energy on fill in the blank. So it's time to stop the excuses. Decide what is important in your life. Make an appointment with yourself. Put it in your calendar so that you're holding space for those things that matter to you, even those self care practices. So that when something comes up, somebody wants to do something with you, or boss wants to schedule a meeting, whatever, you look at your schedule and you go, oh, I'm already booked at that time. When can we meet after 1 o'clock? So you're the space holder for those things you find important. The final thing I like to hit on is finding your meaning or purpose. We have a much more rich and fulfilled life when we do this. Now, a lot of people say, I don't know what my purpose is. I have no idea. I've never known.
Which is totally fine. It's great. It's a
yeah.
great place to start from. I don't know is a beautiful place to start from.
And it's time to start exploring now. So, what are the things you find yourself interested in? If you're reading a blog article or watching a documentary, what subject matter do you find yourself drawn to? What are you a little bit curious about? Make a list of all those things. There are a lot of community college courses that you can take at any time to explore an interest, to gain skill or mastery over something. You can hop on YouTube. There's tutorials on anything
Everything.
under the sun and beyond the sun into the universe. Start looking things up. What does this look like? What would it be like to do this certain thing? Or if you want to explore maybe a certain career or anything like that, and even if you're retired, if you'd like to step in to do something, you might know of somebody who's already doing it, and you could reach out to them and say, could I just follow you around for a day? I want to see what it would be like to be a Reiki practitioner or a financial analyst or whatever it is. Could I just kind of be over your shoulder and see what a day is like? And if you don't know anybody, this is where social media comes in. If you have a Facebook page, obviously you do. If you're watching this, you can just post, hey, does anybody else know of somebody who does this certain thing? Because I would really love to follow them around for a day. And usually a bunch of people will respond because through the degrees of separation, somebody knows someone somewhere, right? So it's time to get creative. It's time to get active. And once you figure out what that meaning or purpose is, that step one is figuring out what it is for yourself. Step two, share it with others, share it with the world. This is what I believe is one of the meanings in our life, is to figure out what we're really good at. What can nobody else do the way that you can? And then how do we share that with the world, with others? All right,
That's
so
it. That's a beautiful formula right there.
right on. Let's get to that worksheet. So grab it if you got it. If not, just grab a piece of paper and a writing utensil, and Kevin's going to walk us through that.
Okay, so our first one for today is first question on the worksheet is, how are you different when no one else is around? Are you sillier? Are you lighter? Are you more talkative, perhaps? Are you more introspective? What are ways in which you're different when nobody else is around? Go ahead and think about that for a minute. And then on your piece of paper or on the worksheet, go ahead and write your answer down. And once you've got that, think to yourself, do I like who this person is when no one else is around? If no, if you find fault or or there's criticism or maybe there's a little voice,
Go ahead.
then look at what you'd like to work on to shift those qualities, and we're going to begin practicing those things. So list some action steps that you can take to start practicing. So say when no one else is around, you find yourself feeling very limited, feeling very quiet, feeling very maybe mopey. What are some action steps and practices we can do to shift out of that?
If you wish to.
If you wish to. If it's is it working for you, really, is the question. When no one else is around, is the way I am working for me? Do I feel peaceful and balanced and in stasis
Content.
and content in these times, in these places? For example, if when we're alone, we're comfortable, but then we start getting anxious if we have to go anywhere, or if we have to, maybe there's a presentation looming, or we have to talk to somebody on Zoom if we start to get anxious. We can look at strengthening interpersonal communication. We can look at strengthening public speaking, whether it's taking an assessment, taking a course, finding a mentor. There's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different ways that we can extract ourselves from experiences that we're not happy with. So when you've assessed and when you've listed the ways that you're different when no one else is around, if you do like who that person is, what's keeping you from living from that place all the time?
Maybe you like dancing naked and or in your underwear. We can't do that all the time.
You can in your mind. You can take that quality with you out into the street, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously, operating in society, dancing naked in the street might attract unwanted attention from different types of people. So if we're one way by ourselves and we feel like we have to be a certain way with friends or with family or with colleagues or with supervisors or whoever, what would be the absolute worst case scenario if we were to share the way we are by ourselves with them? Now, this is where we get into some choices and some potential challenges. We might find that the way we truly are is incongruent with a certain friend group, or it's really just I feel like I have to clamp myself down and toe the line in such a way every day going to work that I'm screaming on the inside the entire time I'm there.
We have a friend going to law school who feels like she can't show any bit of her sparkly personality or spiritual side, or she will be ostracized. So what is she to do? She
So
has choices. She could start a group
it's a
for
choice. Yeah.
those going to law school that are also similar that wanted to do a spiritual practice. She could hide that part of herself.
She
It's
could
really a
go
choice.
full on Elle Woods from Legally Blonde and just do her and
Totally.
damn the consequences.
Right?
We always have choices. The opportunity is what is the choice that's most aligned with us, regardless of anything else going on outside. Because we're never going to satisfy, we're never going to make every single person happy. Going back to that 33% rule that Kelly shared with us. So, what's keeping us from living in this place all the time? And if it's the way people think, the way people might feel, the way people might react,
Yeah.
that's another mirror to hold up. It's not up to us to placate anyone. It's not up to us to hold people's hand while we're moving through life. It's up to us to live the authentic life that we were meant for in order to really start sloughing off all of these chains and weight and layers of conditioning and programming.
I'm thinking, I always go worst case scenario. So I think of what if somebody has a really crass sense of humor, rated R, and then they decide, well, I'm going to be this way at all my Zoom meetings at work. Like there are certain things that, of course, we need to consider. That crossover might not work so beautifully, but that person might say, well, maybe I can be a comedian, open mic night during certain days of the week.
Find an out, yeah,
Right?
find an outlet for these feelings that we have, or these qualities that we have on the inside.
I I
Absolutely.
think in general the more congruent we can have our personality, so we don't have to put on a show for one group.
Right.
We're this way with our friends, we're this way with our family, we're this way at work. The more we can get to being one solid integrated person that we show in all places, I think it's a really healthy place to be, you know.
So, are there times, to Kelly's point, are there times when you hide your true self from others? And if so, what do these times have in common? Or is it similar people? Is it similar energy? Whether it's, you know, like parents or a boss? Who are you with? What are these settings and environments that you're noticing where you do kind of keep yourself limited, or you are keeping yourself hidden from others?
Or you're being fake or phony.
Absolutely. So once you've gotten through all these answers, once you've written all your answers down, go ahead and reread them. Is there something that you would now like to do to take action about what you've learned? Maybe it is looking at different places of finding friendship groups that are really more aligned with your inner core, with that yes on the inside that we started cultivating and practicing earlier in the week. What qualities do you want to strengthen or develop within yourself in order to be that place more often in any situation? So these aren't any questions, or I'm sorry, these aren't any answers that you need to share with anybody else. These are for you. These are what we're creating our owner's manual with. This is what we're creating our operating guide with. These are the things that are going to connect us more with ourselves, which ironically, and it might not feel like it as we're going through this exercise, because we could get a little bit resistance going on because it hasn't been safe and appropriate to be ourselves in the past. We haven't been rewarded potentially for being true and authentic to ourselves in the past. But the more authentic and the more we can be operating from our energetic core, the isness of us, the more that enables and allows everybody else to be operating from the same place. We're literally creating an energetic space where all of these things have much more potential to come into reality and be shared across the board. So it's kind of counterintuitive. The more we do it for ourselves, really the more we share the space for others to be able to do it for themselves as well. And so it's not selfish, it's selfless, even though we're taking that inner dive.
Kevin and I work with a lot of people on enhancing self worth, self love, feeling like you fit into the world. And there's so much insecurity around feeling like not fitting in or comparing self to others, feeling less than. And what we direct people to do is to look within and to determine, are you in a constant state of becoming a person that you like, that you're proud of, that you're comfortable with? That is where this all stems from. So that self-assessment, are there things I would like to develop in myself? If I am quick to anger, perhaps I want to work on my patience more because I want to be having a great relationship with my friends and family and coworkers, right? If I feel like I would like to be more responsible with my time instead of procrastinating, I would like to get more things done. It's deciding on, okay, for 1 hour every day, I'm going to work on these certain tasks that I've been letting go. And I will put that into my phone as an appointment with myself, and I will actually do the thing. So you're just assessing yourself. Are there things that I wish to change about me? If so, what are those things? And what will I commit to do to work on them? Right? It's not trying. Trying is lying. You're either doing or you're not doing. So I am doing these things to develop these skill sets within my personality. And then when you're in this place where you're feeling good about you, that's great. It's like then other people's judgments of you have nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter. Some people will adore you, some people will not like you, some people will be indifferent. It matters how you think about yourself. But when you're in that state of feeling aligned and feeling confident, you exude a charisma that is so felt. When people are authentic, you
It's
feel it. It's so enticing.
it's literally electromagnetic. We
Yeah.
we are electromagnetic beings, and the quality that we emanate or that we create on the inside literally resonates out from our center. And it's overlapping electromagnetic fields. That's
Yeah.
that's vibe. That's everything Kelly just said. That is our broadcast message to the world. So what are we broadcasting? What are you broadcasting right now? Are you broadcasting peaceful presence, confidence, contentment? Or are you broadcasting need, scarcity, fear, self depreciation? That's another one that I wanted to mention. Where if the voice is the self depreciating voice, that's a redirect right there. Redirect away from these patterns, the habituated patterns that we've cultivated over years, over lifetimes potentially.
Will you give an example of that, like a self-depreciating thought, and then how to redirect that?
Um, so a lot of times for me in my personal past, it's been with praise. Whenever I've gotten praise, I immediately switch it. And, yeah, it wasn't that good. I could always do better. So for that, it's like, oh, hey, good job on that project. Good job on that report.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, okay. It was okay. That's the outward reaction. The inward reaction is, I'm a piece of crap. I barely got it done. I can't believe that thing even got through the door or across his or her desk. Wow, I'm going to be found out at any second. Instead of just accepting it. Thank you. Just like I shared yesterday with the baseball chores example. Yes, thank you.
How would you change that internal dialogue from all those self-depreciating things? If you were saying thank you outward, what
Yep.
could you do internally?
No, it wasn't bad. It was great. Sure, there might have been one or two things I could have done differently, but it was amazing for what it was. I'm really good at what I'm doing. I'm getting better every day.
Yeah. And if you feel like you just phoned it in, then it's like, wow, I did great just phoning it in. And next time I'd like to spend a little bit more
Yeah,
time on it so
yeah,
that it's even better. And I'm proud of the work I did.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So tomorrow is the last day of our challenge. And we are going to spend maybe about 5 minutes talking about how you can expand your awareness, elevate your consciousness, and increase your inner peace by tenfold, as well as enhancing every relationship with those in your life. So we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.